Hello, YouTube. This is Gambit McCrae, probably most known from White Blaze as Gambit McCrae. And this year I am going to try and complete several goals, one of which I just started, and that is coming over my fear of being a YouTube vlogger. A little bit about my background. I am 1,450 miles done with the Appalachian Trail, which I started as a 7-year goal to finish while having a full-time job. I am located in Central Tennessee, so a lot of my AT completion has been done on weekends as well as 1-week trips, and now that vacation allows, I have started 2-week trips as of last October. I say that to give you a logistics standpoint that I am entering into year 5, so I have 3 years left to do 720 miles, which I feel pretty good about. What I have left is 115 miles between Duncannon and Little Gap / Danielsville, Pennsylvania, which I will be doing southbound starting the week of July 4th. So the weekend before and the weekend after July 4th, and that entire week I will be in Pennsylvania. I enjoy big mile days, which varies for everyone, but for me, a big mile day is 25 miles. My longest day on the trail has been 27, and I'm hopeful to get a 30-pack while in Pennsylvania. I am also wanting to do that 115 in a total of 4 days. So if I don't, that's fine, but it's part of the dreaming of completing the trail. After Pennsylvania, I will go up to Upper Goose Pond in Massachusetts and head north for 2 weeks. And that kind of gives you an idea of the completion that I have. After I finish Pennsylvania, I'll be complete from Springer up to Upper Goose Pond in Massachusetts. And after that 2-week trip, hopefully I will be done at least to Dartmouth, Hanover, New Hampshire, leaving Hanover to Katahdin for the next 2 years, a 440 or so mile stretch to divide in between 2 last trips. On top of that, I've started a map 2 of the AT, which just a second completion, which is not a dedicated completion like map 1 has been. It is more to keep me on track physically and mentally to complete map 1. I have no intentions of really completing the AT as aggressively on a map 2 as I did on map 1. So for this year, my goal on map 2 is to go from Watauga Dam, Wilburn Road, just south of Watauga Dam, down Springer Mountain, over 12 or 13 trips, weekend trips ranging from 27 to 41 miles. So on top of that, I have decided that due to my weekday hobby, which is road walking, this isn't an overview of my entire life, all of my hobbies. This is a video on hobbies that relate to the trail, because I do enjoy doing other things. But road walking with my pack on after work for 8 to 14 miles, neglecting whatever weather there is or temperatures, is a hobby of mine. I don't care if there's 4 or 5 inches of snow on the ground, or if it's pouring rain, or if it's 100 degrees outside, or if it's 7 o'clock on a beautiful spring morning. I'm enjoying some road walking during the week. So to implement that into a goal, I'm a very goal-oriented person. I have decided that I am going to try and walk the length of the NatchezTrace Parkway this year, which is 444 miles, or 440. I don't care. And I will do that over weekends, ranging in a expectation of 40 miles a weekend, but with a goal of 25 to 30 miles a day. So, I'm kind of excited about that. It's something new. It is new to everyone. In all of the vast internet that we have, I've only found resources of one person walking it. And I'm sure that there have been more that have completed every mile by foot. But the only one that I have found that has documented it is Nimble Wheel Nomad, which is has pretty much dedicated his life to foot travel. So I plan to do this. My goal is 10 trips, but knowing me, it will probably take 11 or 12. So the trail goes, it's not a trail, it's a parkway. It's a 2-lane highway. It has 60 miles of trail, and from the look of it, I will be able to take advantage of about, we'll say 40 miles of linear trail to the parkway that I can jump off of the road and walk the actual trail. It just runs parallel with the parkway for about a 20-mile segment and about a 10-mile segment. I believe that there are 5 bicycle-only campgrounds, which I would also be able to use as a backpacker. And then there are 4 or 5 free RV campgrounds that I could use as well. Now, the problem is with the pressure of miles that I'm putting on myself, the likelihood of those camping spots falling into the range of where I want to stop for the day is unlikely. The generosity on the trace, the curiosity, does spark my interest in a fact that I could run into maybe some RV enthusiasts and say, you know, hey, we're going to be at this campground towards dark. We'll run you up the parkway, say 10 miles tonight, and you hike back north to the campground to stay, and then in the morning we'll drive you back to where you left off to help you out. Stuff like that is pretty common. I can't really say on the parkway, but I know like on the AT and other popular trails, people enjoy helping people that have a goal and a tough goal. I'm not going to rely on that, but I think that it can make for a good story. My fears on the trace: water. The trace is not designed to be a walking trail or a walking path. It's meant to be driven on, and then from that, people have transferred it to bicycling, which traveling 50 miles in a day on a bike, water, and with being on a mechanical device, water is not as hard to negotiate as on foot. So I might have a little bit of trial and error, and I'll probably try and face that more on the lack of error side by carrying more water until I learn how much I actually need. The other less fear that I have is the legalities of camping. I'm not afraid to step off of the trace over into the woods and ghost camp for the night on the other side of the hill and listen for traffic the next morning and come back over. That's kind of like what Nimble Will did, and I can relate to that from trail experience as well. So I guess my biggest fear is going to be the logistics of getting back to my car. I'm not a huge fan of hitchhiking. I have some family through the Tennessee portion, but after that I'm on my own. So, I guess I will be digging more into maybe some local sales to find contacts in those areas, some hitchhiking, but I'll make it work. Excited for my first segment, which I have planned, and I'm not going to release when that is, but it will be early spring for about 60 miles. And that'll give me a good gist if I actually want to do this or if it's not for me. So I think that's a pretty good first video. I'm not going to put a bunch of music and stuff to it. Depends on the feedback. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I guess my next video will be on gear and what I've carried in the past that I enjoyed versus what I'll be carrying in 2018 that I have tested a little bit and already find is pretty comfortable. And I will give you a hint that my base weight is 6 pounds for my tent, pack, pad, and sleeping bag. Hope everybody has a good evening, and I hope that I get some positive feedback on this. Have a good night.